Welcome, everybody. It is a windy and frigid day here in Tempe, Arizona, but that's perfect weather for some club lacrosse here at the Cactus Classic. My name is Harrison Fuller, broadcasting for South Mountain Sports, and we have a good matchup for you today on Field C. It is the Florida Gators taking on the Utah Valley Wolverines. Wolverines coming into this game 1-3 off the heels of a 3-18 loss against UC Santa Barbara, and the Gators undefeated at 3-0, so hoping to defend that today against the Wolverines. We're just about ready for first draw. Taking in the draw for Florida will be Sophie Morrissey. And it'll be Eleanor Scott taking the draw for Utah Valley. And we're off, as Utah Valley able to corral first draw here. That was number 23, Sophie Grizzle. Passing it around. Wolverines starting the game out conservative. Just waiting for their look. Here's a shot, and an early goal for Utah Valley. It's Catherine Yost finding her lane as the Wolverines, as previously mentioned, just being conservative with the ball and waiting for a shot lane to open up. Goal stands as the referee does a stick check. Yost's stick passed the test, so the Wolverines find pay dirt early. A 1-0 lead for Utah Valley. So right back to center field for the draw. Ground ball after the draw. And the Wolverines able to corral it again. Ground ball picked up by the Florida Gators. Let's see if they can flip the field here. Running with it is Angelina Pavlakis. And Florida able to flip the field and get into the attacking third. Pass it back to their ex, Maddie Caliendo. Now for the Gators. Here's Sarah Miller. Holding on to it, now passing around. Gators taking the same approach that Utah Valley did. Just being conservative and waiting for their shots. Ground ball, great stick check, and Utah Valley has it. Good passing, and they're able to clear the field. Flip the field, excuse me. Wolverines now transition into the attacking third. Sperry over to Clark now. Wolverines again being conservative. Just waiting for a lane to open up. Now they'll pass it to Yost. She already has one today. Over to Grizzle. Waiting. Finds Sperry. No shot clock in women's club lacrosse, so the Wolverines can hold it for as long as they want. Garlick now back at X will clear it back up top to Clark. Clark trying to take on a defender, and That shot flies beyond the goal, and Florida was able to run and gain possession for the Gators. Here's Noe trying to take it coast to coast. Noe with a move, lost the ball briefly, gets it back herself. And she will run back to her position in the midfield. Florida now just searching for a lane. Mitchell speeding up. Shot is saved by Utah Valley. It's number 26 in the cage, Peyton Kimball. Utah Valley now trying to clear. Florida gains it back. Nice strip. And another save there by Kimball. 2 early saves for the goalkeeper. Ground ball picked up by Caitlin Trevino of Utah Valley. And the ball will go out of bounds. Possession goes to Utah Valley. Mackenzie Hatch hustling up the field, and it's intercepted by Keely Naus. Running with it, trying to take it coast to coast. It's a 2v1. Naus floats back out and will try to reset here. Passes it to her teammate, number 7, Sarah Miller. Miller gives it to Rinaldi. Easy to spot there with the bright yellow cleats. Rinaldi pass it to her teammate Schmerler, who recently subbed in. Now over to the corner. Trying to make a move. Florida, good cut. And the Gators couldn't get a shot up. They reset. Over to Costolo. Now to Wieldens. Cut in. Ground ball. Right near the crease. It is corralled by Peyton Kimball. But there is a penalty on the field. So as play resets, it'll be Utah Valley ball. Kimball looking for someone to pass it to. Still got it. Got to remember, she's only got 10 seconds to make a decision and pass it. She gets it away to her teammate, Caitlin Trevino. Now Lily Messina's got it in the stick, and she's rolling up the field. Caitlin Sperry now. Now over to Clark. Back to X, Alyssa Garlick. Clark. Wolverines passing it around. Sperry has some troubles corralling the ball, but picks it up, and now will go face-to-face with a Florida defender. Foul on Florida. They'll most likely call that a stick check on the penalty as play resumes, and there's a ground ball. Who's got it? Florida does corral it. Here are the Gators clearing the ball. Florida's got a good look. Can they strike? They're down 1-0 right now, but can the Gators make something happen on this possession? They slow things down. Pass it out to the wings. Trying to find a cutter now is number 6, Isabel Baselga. Pass it back out, reset. Here's Ava Mitchell, passing it to her teammate up top. That's Kendall Schmerler. Schmerler trying to make a move, dodging defenders, and scores for Florida. That ties the game up. Number 14, Kendall Schmerler, the midfielder, getting busy and putting the Gators on the board. That ties the game at 1, and we'll head back to center field for a draw. Here's the draw in center field. Utah Valley able to corral it. That's number 23, Sophie Grizzle. Back to X. Number 8, Garlic. Garlic being guarded tightly. Great defense from Florida, number 28, Ashley Fanny. Now, here is Yost. She's already got a goal today, and the ref blows his whistle and will reset play. Penalty called on Florida, I believe. Yost being double-teamed, resets it, passes it back out. Now back to Yost. Yost bounces it. It's just wide of the goal, but Utah Valley will retain possession. Heads-up play by Alyssa Garlic, playing X, sprinting for that ground ball as it went out of bounds. Great pass inside. Trying to find a cutter. Yost couldn't handle it. Florida's got it. Ball up in the air. Ground ball. There goes Florida. Kendall Schmerler. Schmerler sprinting down the field. And she will reset, find a cutter. She was trying to find Rinaldi, but she couldn't handle it. Pass it back to X, number 1, Maddie Caliendo. Mitchell now taking her time, assessing her options. Schmerler over to the wing. That's Baselga. Now to Mitchell. Mitchell passes it, an errant pass to Schmerler. Schmerler able to keep the ball inbounds. Sophie Morrissey trying to drive in, gets double teamed, passes it back out. Gators taking their time. Over to Morrissey. Morrissey now trying to drive towards the cage. Morrissey trying to find a cutter. It's intercepted, ground ball, and Florida picks it up. It's number 22, Angelina Pavlakis. Here's Mitchell. Over to Naus. Naus trying to make a move inside. Naus will reset it back to X. Now, here's Caliendo trying to bend the corner, hit a cutter. It's intercepted, knocked down, and picked up by number 6 for Utah Valley, Alyssa Brown. A quick stoppage by the referee. And a substitution. A timeout called. Midway through the first quarter, The score is tied at 1. You're watching South Mountain Sports, and we'll take a quick break.
It's all good. This is very, it's got to be like real close to my mouth. Be as loud as you want.
Good luck.
You have a camera pointed at the scoreboard, right?
No.
Oh.
We're just doing the scoreboard on here.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
How much time is left in the first quarter?
Oh, we're not doing time.
Oh, okay. Or was that the end of the first quarter?
To South Mountain Sports. My name is Harrison Fuller, and you're watching the Cactus Classic. The 3-0 Florida Gators taking on the 1-3 Utah Valley Wolverines, and at the end of the first quarter, they're knotted at 1. Some early goals coming from Catherine Yost for Utah Valley and Kendall Schmerler for the Gators. And play will reset. Here is Alyssa Brown being triple teamed, running straight past the defenders. Brown might take it coast to coast. No, she hands it off to her teammate. That's Taylor Ford. Ford trying to find a cutter, resets, passes it back out. Now here's Sperry. Sperry trying to find a lane. Sperry catches it outside the 8-meter mark. Great defense from Florida. Just all defenders sticking to their assignments, double teaming when necessary, just like that. Here's Sperry, and Florida picks up a ground ball, and there they go. Completely shifting the field into Florida's attacking third. Mishandled pass will give Utah Valley possession back here. They'll give it to the goalie, Peyton Kimball. Deep pass is caught. Wow. There goes number 9. Trying to see who that is. Well, Utah Valley back in the attacking third. They'll give it to Grizzle. Now just some conservative passing, trying to find a lane. If anything opens up with this stout Florida defense. Sperry over to Clark. Back outside. Clark will get it in the wing. Quick pass back out to X. It's Sperry. Searching. Dodges her defender. Sperry driving in. Shot. Ground ball now corralled by the Gators. There goes Sophie Morrissey. Morrissey dodging defenders. Will she try to take it coast to coast herself? No, she passes it out here. That's for Caitlin Irwin. Now back out to X behind the cage. It's Kelly Indo. Here's Irwin. Searching. Surveying the field. Back out, Morrissey. One minute left in the quarter. Ground ball. Florida ball. Got to get a shot off. Less than a minute left. Here's Naus. Naus evading defenders. Utah Valley doing a good job to slow her down. Shot inside. Morrissey bounces it. No good. Picked up by the Gators. Back out now. Irwin. Over to Naus. Naus lost it. Utah Valley ball. Can they make something happen with less than 30 seconds left in the quarter? Got to get a shot off now if they want it. Here's Tate. And that will do it for the first quarter of this Cactus Classic game. Florida and Utah Valley still knotted at 1. My name is Harrison Fuller. You're watching South Mountain Sports, and we'll be back with more action in the second quarter.
Perfect. Good timing.
Welcome back to South Mountain Sports. As we're getting going here in the second quarter, we've flipped sides of the field, and Florida attacking spin move saved by Peyton Kimball. That's her 4th already. What a start for the Wolverine goalie. So upon some feedback, we will get a tighter shot for the viewers at home so you can see your family members and the players a little better here. Florida now couldn't get anything to go on the last possession, but they've gained the ball back and will try to capitalize in the attacking third here. Here's Costolo. Now over Kate Wheeldens. Wheeldon finding a cutter inside. Bottoms! Florida scores. It was Kendall Schmerler, I believe. And if it was, that would make it her 2nd goal. That was a terrific cut by Schmerler and a heads-up pass by Wheeldon. All around a great play for the Gators, and that gives them a 2-1 lead. After the Florida goal, we'll take it back to center field for the draw. Utah Valley with a perfect draw record right now, coming up with the ball on every single draw of today. Here's Sperry. Back out. Scott. Surveying, just trying to be the point guard. And find a passing lane. She resets it. Back out. Caitlin Sperry. Ford. Searching. Looking. Ford dancing around. Swim moves. Back out. Spins back out. Now into Grizzle. Ball is on the ground. Saved by Jordan Salby. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Here goes Mitchell. Mitchell got it away. Florida successfully clears it into the attacking third. Now Caliendo. The X. She just sits behind the goal, gaining possession back for her team. It's probably the most underrated position in lacrosse. You just sit back there. If the ball comes your way, you find a cutter for a passing lane. Swim move. Shot is too high for Schmerler. If that one fell, it would have been her third, an early hat trick. But she's left still looking for it as Florida gains possession. Dodging around, juking. Wheeldens. Searching, looking around, pump faking. Wheelden. Here's Schmerler. Shot into the goal and a stoppage due to a penalty. It'll be Utah Valley's ball, excuse me. So Kimball will wait for play to resume. And Utah Valley looking to knot things back up. We are going to take it up the field. Now Long. And they successfully make it to the attacking third. Here's Miller. Miller into Biggs. Biggs in. Shot. And a goal. Number 14, Sperry. Scores for Utah Valley, tying it back up at 2. A quick stick check by the ref. Everything looks good, and that one will go on the board for Utah Valley. Caitlin Sperry with that goal. So we'll bring it back to center field for the draw. Utah Valley has just done a phenomenal job on the draws, gaining possession, but have frankly been a bit on the slower side offensively. But right there, they're able to capitalize off of good cutting, great passing, and an even better shot to finish things off. Here's the draw. And Florida will gain possession on that one. Running down the field is Sophie Morrissey. Over to Baselga. Now here's Caliendo. Caliendo passing it back around Baselga. Will go Wheeldon. Here's a cutter. Florida gonna shoot. It gets in there. Touched some nylon. Hit the back of the net. Florida with a quick response to Utah Valley's goal. Everything looks good on the stick check, and that'll be 3-2 for the Gators. So back to center field for the draw. That was a quick one. Florida is known for some high-scoring affairs this year. Their first game was a 19-0 win against Baylor. They've put up 3 goals early here as this second quarter is young. Utah Valley wins the draw there, continuing their solid streak of winning draws. Trevino having trouble with it, gets it away to Hatch. They'll reverse field. Here's Alyssa Brown. Unable to handle it is Lily Messina. Florida gets it. Florida trying to get out of a pickle here as Hurd resets back out. Florida's got numbers. They're going to try to speed it up here. Pass it back to X, Eleanor Scott. Scott drifting behind the cage. That'll go to Hatch. Florida being a bit more conservative with it. Just not going unless they need to. And Ford was trying to drive in. It'll be a penalty on Utah Valley. There's a penalty shot. Tried to bounce it in between the legs of the goalie, and Peyton Kimball, as steady as ever in the cage. Florida trying to press Wolverines. Can they get out of it? Ball's on the ground, and Florida gains possession. So the pressure pays off for the Gators as they're able to get the ball back and promptly flip it into the attacking third. Ava Mitchell searching. This is a solid approach by the Gators. You know, if you go too fast and throw a couple errant passes, that can cost you a couple goals and potentially the game. So Florida just calculating every decision, but that ball falls to the ground and Utah Valley able to recover. Alyssa Brown makes a nice move, and the defense was a bit too strong as Florida called for the penalty. The woman who committed it, Kate Wheeldon, will quickly sub off. Now here's Brown. Had to get the ball back in the attacking third, and she'll float back to her spot as a midfielder. Here's Grizzle. Grizzle trying to do something with it. Behind the goal here is Eleanor Scott. Scott. His pass is intercepted. Here go the Gators. Up, Gators lost it. Ball's on the ground. Being battered around. Looks more like field hockey than lacrosse. Keeping the ball in bounds, and they will say Gators ball. Here's Rinaldi, flipping the field, trying to make a run for it. She'll bounce around, dance a bit, and float in place now. Mitchell will get it back to Rinaldi. Wheeldens almost took the screen set by her teammate. Lost it, picked up by the Gators. Rinaldi trying to drive in, gets pushed back out by Eleanor Scott. Back out now, it's Caliendo trying to make a move, but will reset it back out to her teammate Schmerler. Schmerler trying to drive in. Schmerler doesn't like her look. Schmerler floating back around, tried to pass it, and a penalty is called on Utah Valley. This looks like it was in the 8-meter box, or 8-meter circle, and will get Florida a penalty shot. Here's Schmerler. From the hash mark. Schmerler rips it, bounces it through the legs of the Utah Valley goalie Kimball, and scores for the Gators. Schmerler, man, is just pouring it in. In this first half, she's got 3. An early hat trick for the Gators midi. To center field for the draw. Ball's on the ground after the draw, and looks like Utah Valley comes up with it after a long ground ball, but Florida steals it right back. Here come the Gators storming down the field. Searching, shooting, blocked by Kimball. Ball on the ground now, and Kimball corrals it inside the crease. Kimball using up all her time to find a passer, and Garlick now flips the field. Trevino. Utah Valley being somewhat slow, conservative, just calculating every pass. Ball's on the ground. Player lost a stick. Another player's fall into the ground, and a stoppage potentially for a foul. After a long stoppage, we'll get back to playing ball here. Marissi searching, scanning, floating back out. Pass it back to Marissi. Spin move, trying to drive in. Passes it back out to her teammate, Wheeldon. Now back out to Marissi. Over to Naus. Now spin move. Shot. Falls. It's good. Florida pouring it on in this second quarter. I believe that was Naus. Her first goal of the day. called, but play quickly resumes after the draw. Florida able to gain possession here. They'll pass it back to X. Just floating it on the perimeter here, well outside the 8-meter mark. Gators surveying. Trying to find Paydirt once more. Back out here. It's Nouse. She just had a goal and foul called on Utah Valley. Nouse will pass it back out to X. That's Caliendo. Here is Florida trying to drive. Quickly cuts it back. Lost the ball. Penalty called on the Wolverines. So it'll be a penalty shot here for Marissi. Marissi sprinting towards the goal. Great save from Peyton Kimball. Florida gets it back though. Shot. Falls for the Gators once more. An offensive outburst for Florida in this second quarter. Stick check looks good. Florida scores again. Six to 2. Florida pouring it on. In this first half alone, they've scored more goals than they did in their previous game against Clemson. That was a 5-4 win, a tight one. But this game is trending in the direction of the opposite of that not quite being as close. Gators win the draw. Kolsch. Now going to Schmerler. Schmerler. Shot. Bit too much contact. Maybe a shooting space penalty. Here are the Gators on a penalty shot. Shot is low, and it's saved by Kimball. It's been a lot of volume for her on the shots. Right around 50% on the save percentage today, but the Utah Valley defenders have had an active day, as has Kimball. Florida just terrific in the attacking third so far. Pass inside. Ball batted around. Ball's in the air. Ground ball and a stoppage by the refs. It'll be Utah Valley ball, excuse me. Florida able to intercept it. They've got numbers. Here's Schmerler. Already got a hat trick today. Floats it back outside. Trying to find a teammate. Does. It's Rinaldi. Wieldens. Gets it back here. Wielden looking for a passer. Doesn't look like she wants to take that shot. Now, over to Caliendo. Caliendo back to Wielden. Inside, 2 seconds. That'll do it for the first half. So Florida looking strong offensively, leading 6-2 over the Utah Valley Wolverines. 30 minutes left until one team comes out victorious. Right now, it's looking all Florida. For South Mountain Sports, my name is Harrison Fuller, and we'll see you in the third quarter.
Be ready for it. Be ready for it. Finishing side.
It's still good.
Welcome back to Field C of the Cactus Classic. It's a chilly Friday evening here in Tempe as we get rolling in the third quarter of Florida versus Utah Valley. Florida up 6-2, and Florida able to win the draw. Florida now trying to score on the left goal from your point of view from home. Florida starting conservative, moving slow, just waiting for a passing lane. It's worked all day for them. 6 early goals for the Gators. Here's Sophie Morrissey. Morrissey driving in, and whistle blows from the referee. That'll reset play, and it'll be a penalty shot for Florida. They've scored on one of them already. Morrissey unable to score there, but Florida able to regain possession, pass it back out to Naus. Errant shot over the goal. Florida retains it. You know, for anyone watching at home, we thank you. And I've been made aware that there is a watch party in Cutchogue, New York. So I'd like to shout out Glenn, Tom, Jen, Hallie, and Tate. Thank you for watching and supporting South Mountain Sports. We appreciate you. Here's the penalty shot for Florida. Utah Valley playing some good defense and flipping the field now. Peyton Kimball passes it out. Wolverines still trying to clear the ball, get it into their attacking third. Haven't even reached midfield yet. Here goes Hatch. Passes it up. Caitlin Sperry. It's somewhat of a disadvantage for Utah Valley because they're driving right in the direction of the sun, and the bright Arizona sun is setting right in their faces. Here's Grizzle for Utah Valley. Ball rolls out of bounds, but possession is retained by the Wolverines. Over to Sperry. She's got one of the two goals for Utah Valley today. Now back behind the goal to X. Yost. She's got the other goal. Two players getting tangled up, and it will be Utah Valley ball, I believe. Yes, it will be. Here's Grizzle. Over to Sperry. Utah Valley looking for something here to try to get back on the scoreboard. Grizzle dodging defenders, lost the ball, picks back up, and a penalty called on Florida. Here are the Wolverines. Looking, dodging defenders, getting tangled up here. And a penalty on Florida, so Utah Valley's Ella Clark will try to take it up here. Clark passes it out to her teammate in the wing. Yost searching, trying to find a crease here in the Florida defense, but that is difficult to do. The Gators have been just stout on defense all day. Here's Grizzle. Shot is saved by Jordan Salby, the goalie for the Gators. Salby will pass it up to her teammate Noe, the defender, trying to flip the field, get it into the attacking third for Florida. Noe got it to Baselga. On to Mitchell, lost it, picks it back up though. Mitchell being aggressively defended by Alyssa Brown for Utah Valley. Now here's Rinaldi. Back out behind the cage, Caliendo. Passes it now to Wieldens. Searching, here's Rinaldi shoots, picked up by Utah Valley. Briefly, it's a scrum. Who's got it? Wolverines do. Here goes Caitlin Trevino. Trevino finds a teammate. Utah Valley's got numbers. Can they score in transition? They've been a bit slow on possession, just holding the ball, trying to find any opening. And they just haven't been able to capitalize off of that technique. So maybe they switch up their scheme and try to get on the board. Here's Yost. Hatch searching. Penalty called on the play. Here's Grizzle. Grizzle passing it inside. Shot on goal. It scores. Number 15, Ella Clark. Her first of the day. So the Midi gets the Wolverines on the board, and that's the first goal for either team in this second half. Here's the draw at center field. Whistle called. It'll gain possession for the Wolverines. So number 11, Eleanor Scott picks it up, spins out of a tackle and gets checked, but Valley keeps it in their hands, or in their sticks, I should say. Here's Sperry. Back out to Clark. She just scored a goal. Can Utah Valley, can they get back on the board? Here, cutters for Valley. Taylor Ford lost it. Valley picks it back up. Here's Ford resetting. Well outside the 8-meter mark. Over to Yost. Yost with a high pass to Sperry. She's able to handle it. Ford searching, looking. Now Sperry's got it. Sperry. Just cradling, trying to find something. Evades the pressure. Got it over. Sophie Grizzle. Shot. Scores! For Utah Valley. How did that one find its way into the net? An underhand, sideways shot, whatever you want to call it. It bottoms the back of the net. Pure nylon. Stick check. Seems to be good. That one counts for the Wolverines. That puts them within 2. This is certainly a tighter game. Florida needs to respond if they want to hold their commanding lead. So quick timeout, and we'll take a quick break. We're back on South Mountain. We're back on South Mountain Sports. Utah Valley just scored 2 unanswered to start the third quarter, and the Wolverines are absolutely back in this game. Here's the draw after the goal following the timeout. Ball pops in the air, batted away. Florida picks it up. Here goes Pavlakis. Pavlakis sprinting down the field. Bounces out right outside the 8-meter mark. Here's Morrissey. She flips it to her teammate, running near the far side. Keeley Nouse, back out Morrissey. Florida being a bit more aggressive after the 2 unanswered Utah Valley goals. Here's Caliendo. Caliendo going to try to drive in. She gets triple team, loses the ball. Caliendo picks it back up for Florida. Ball back up in the air. Batted around, still on the ground. Who's got it? It's the Gators. They pick it up after that scrum. And try to go back on attack mode. Mitchell. Kicks it back out. Nouse. Floating back outside. Passes it in. Shot is waved off by the referee. Wouldn't have gone anyways. So they will call a penalty. Isabel Baselga on the penalty shot. Peyton Kimball been pretty solid all day. Baselga, one-on-one, lost it. Kimball corrals it for Utah Valley. Here goes Eleanor Scott for Utah Valley, flipping the field, bringing Utah Valley into the attacking third. Now here goes Clark. Yost cutting, gets the pass. Yost lost it. Florida picks it up. There go the Gators. Backtracking a bit here. Miller evades the stick check 2 times. Back behind the cage, Matty Caliendo trying to make something happen here. Gators need one here to get back on the offensive. Great evading job by Keely Nouse. Punches it back out. Shot is saved by Kimball. She batted it away as the shot was trying to bounce in, but it wasn't getting past Kimball. Stoppage on the field. Referee signals, and it'll be a goal for Florida, I believe. Still a bit of confusion on what went down on the field, but Florida was awarded a goal. Back at center field for the draw. Ball pops into the air, and Florida able to pick it up. There goes Schmerler. Schmerler. Searching. Ball now back behind the net. Lost it. Gators lost it. They are able to pick it back up, though. That was scary. If Utah Valley were to have picked up that ball, they had a clear run down field and might have been able to score there. Florida just passing it all the way around that 8-meter mark. There goes Schmerler. Schmerler nets it for the Gators. Gators get back on the board. This is their first of the second half. That makes it 7-4. And they go back to holding a 3-point lead. Excuse me, that moves it to 8-4. And we'll go back to center field here for the draw. And a false start called on on Florida, which gives Utah Valley the ball here. Clark. Searching, trying to find a teammate. Here's Eleanor Scott. Ball batted out of the stick. Picked up. Florida, a scuffle on the field as a Gator might have hit the deck. And the referee will call a penalty. So it will be Florida ball as Lucy Long, I believe, will take it as we approach the end of the third quarter here. Here go the Gators. Long gives it up to her teammate, Pavlakis. Pavlakis down the far side. Here's Caliendo. Searching over to Costolo. Costolo floating, trying to find a teammate. Will attack. Moving to the inside. Gators searching for another one. Caliendo inside. What a save from UVU's Peyton Kimball. She's had a number of impressive saves today. Here's Sperry. Sperry's got a good look. Sprinting to the goal. Changes direction. Passes it backwards here to Grizzle. Sperry. Searching. Picks up a screen from her teammate Grizzle. Garlic back out. Utah Valley's goal here seems to be just get the ball to Sperry and let her go to work. She's got a goal today. Garlic now hands it over. Grizzle. Grizzle changes direction. Clark handling it. And the air horse sounds, and that brings us to the end of 3 quarters. So Florida holding an 8-4 lead after 3. My name is Harrison Fuller. 4th quarter here in Tempe, Arizona for the Cactus Classic. A solid matchup here on Field C. Florida against Utah Valley. If you're just joining us, welcome. Florida has been in command for most of the game. They lead 8-4. And now to start the 4th quarter, here's the draw. Here's the draw at the center of the field. Florida takes it. Sarah Miller sprinting down the near side here. Miller clears it back out. Keely Naus now around the back of the goal. Ava Mitchell trying to spin out of it. Referee blew his whistle, and a penalty issued on Utah Valley. It was in the 8-meter, so from the hashes, here's the penalty shot for Florida. Sprinting towards the goal, trying to bounce it. Great save from Utah Valley's Peyton Kimball. Kimball now holding on to it, passes it out. Here's Garlic. Excuse me. Brown. Brown gets it back here. Brown going to try to take it up. Messina searching for a teammate to pass to, finds Grizzle. Grizzle being double teamed. Grizzle lost it. Florida picks it up. Can they clear it and successfully get it back into the attacking third here? Florida on a roll, lost it at the last second. They regain possession though, so it'll stay in the attacking third for Florida. Wieldens. Now out to Morrissey. The Gators searching, trying to find a crease here in the Utah Valley defense. Now searching, passes it inside. Great save from Kimball. Baselga passes it in. Gators. Oh, driving in. Flag called. Penalty on Utah Valley. This will be a penalty shot for Florida. It'll be Morrissey who takes it. Whistle blows, sprinting towards the cage. Passes it out. Shot! Finds pay dirt. Sarah Miller for Florida. Picks up her first of the game. 9-4. Gators on their way to a rout of Utah Valley. Bring it back to the center line. Here for the draw. Ball pops into the air. Picked up by Utah Valley. Here go the Wolverines. Tight defense here from the Gators. Messina. Now over to Ford. Ford searching. Floating back. Lost the ball. Penalty called. Green card issued. So they'll send Florida's Isabel Baselga to the penalty box for a minute. Quick stoppage by the referees. Play resumes here. Utah Valley on the offensive. Here go the Wolverines. It's Ella Clark. Passing to Scott. Scott on the wing. Right outside of the 8-meter line. Scott passes it to the perimeter. Alyssa Garlick. Inside. Wolverines couldn't handle it. Ground ball. A 2v1 by Florida, and they regain it. Just an incredible hustle play as Caroline Tate was forced out of bounds, but Florida will take it. Here go the Gators storming up the field. It's Kolsch. Ainsley Kolsch. Pass gets deflected. Florida still able to handle it. Here goes Sarah Miller. Miller sprinting towards the cage. Can't handle the ball, though, in Utah Valley. Ends up. It's in the stick of Alyssa Brown. Ball rolling out of bounds. Possession stays with UVU. And a timeout taken by Utah Valley. So the Wolverines trying to find a way to make up the 4-goal deficit for the fourth quarter. Game coming to a close. Utah Valley coming out of the huddle after a timeout. Now here go the Wolverines deep in their own territory. Eleanor Scott handling the ball, evading defenders, passing it out. Lily Messina sprinting to behind the net. Messina trying to do it herself, but gives the ball up to Garlick. Garlick lost possession of the ball. It will be Florida ball. Here goes Tate, backtracking a bit, passing it, crossing the field here. Pavlakis crossing midfield, trying to get it into the attacking third for Florida. Pavlakis, will she try to take it herself? No, she gives it up. Goes Stolo. Now over to Schmerler. Quick passing for the Gators. Passing it inside, lost possession, and I believe they'll call a stick check there on Utah Valley. That'll give Reese Rinaldi a chance at a penalty shot. Rinaldi fires, bottoms. Rinaldi finds pay dirt for Florida. And that brings them into double digits. 10-4, Florida lead after that one from Reese Rinaldi. Timeout taken by the Gators after that goal. So the two teams will huddle back up and we'll reconvene back in the fourth. Harrison Fuller broadcasting for South Mountain Sports. So after the Florida goal that made it 10-4 for the Gators, two teams will come back to center field and take the draw. Ball pops into the air. Utah Valley picks it up. And here go the Wolverines. Grizzle being double teamed. Here's Scott for Utah Valley, streaking down the sideline. Stops on a dime, starts back up, lost her defender, has to pass it out. Now Florida gains possession. Here go the Gators, running down the far side of the field. Costolo out now to Wieldens. Ball on the ground, corralled by Peyton Kimball. Utah Valley running up the middle of the field, trying to pass it inside. And Caroline Tate stuck her stick up there and managed to intercept it and give possession back to the Gators. Ball stolen. Here goes Caitlin Sperry for Utah Valley, and it's mishandled. Here's Caroline Tate for the Gators. Now Baselga running up the near side, passes it to Wheeldens. Wheeldon being face guarded. Kind of in line with the goal now. Wheeldens, well, she tried to take it herself. Now she passes it out. Now Irwin's got it. Here's Rinaldi. She had one earlier on a penalty shot. Ava Mitchell. Trying to pass it inside. Lost the ball, penalty, and most likely it'll be a penalty shot for Caitlin Irwin. Gators looking to capitalize off this. Here's Florida on the penalty shot. Waiting for official approval. And we'll get rolling. Irwin on one of the outer hash marks. Still waiting. There she goes. Dashing towards the goal. Can't complete the play on the penalty shot. Florida picks it back up, and a penalty issued to Utah Valley, I believe. Passing it inside. Irwin again. Can't get it to go. Peyton Kimball. A stonewall on that possession. Gonna pass it up. Ball rolls out of bounds. Utah Valley sprints towards it and gains possession for Florida. They'll call it Florida ball. Here goes Rinaldi. Rinaldi, great stick skills. Evading pressure here, pump fakes, still got it, flips it to her teammate. Irwin. Now over to Baselga, back to the X position behind the goal, passing it inside. There goes Ava Mitchell. Florida will now reset. Pass it inside. Lost the ball. Florida picks it back up. Passing it inside. Spin move. No good on the shot. Florida picks it back up, though. It's Baselga. And after that, the referee blows his whistle. We will reset play. Or not, as Kimball ends up with the ball in the net. In her stick, excuse me. Florida now still in the attacking third. Mitchell gonna run with it. Now slows down. Pass it behind the net here. Schmerler. Searching, looking around, jukes, nice move. There goes Schmerler, pump fakes. Foul called. And looks like it'll be a penalty shot for Florida. Schmerler will take it. Here goes Kendall Schmerler, trying to improve on her hat trick that she already has in the first half. Here goes Schmerler. Bullseye! Schmerler gets her 4th of the night. Florida now. That makes it 11-4. Just an incredible offensive performance from the Florida Gators, traveling across the country to the Cactus Classic here in Tempe, Arizona, and putting up a very, very solid performance in their first game of the tournament. Both teams will play tomorrow as well. Florida will be taking on Michigan State on Field B from 10:15 on. And Utah Valley, hoping to recover after a likely loss today, will take on Michigan State and Oregon State, I believe, tomorrow. In addition, Florida will also play Utah. So a stacked schedule for both of these teams, and one team going to come out of it with a bit more of a positive outlook than the other. Florida unable to handle the draw. Utah Valley picks it up, having some trouble corralling it here. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's Florida taking possession. Morrissey. Over now, outside. Nouse. Searching. Passes it to Castolo. Castolo trying to run around and bend around her defender. Mitchell trying to do the same thing. Bend around her defender. Shot. Doesn't fall. Peyton Kimball picks it up for Utah Valley. Another save for the goalie. Here goes number 11, Natalie Biggs for the Gators. Passes it out to Nouse. Florida just going to reset. Pump fake. Got the defender looking. Shot. Waved off. As the referee blew his whistle as soon as the ball left Nouse's stick. Penalty shot here for the Gators. Shot bounces high in the air after being deflected by Peyton Kimball, the goalie for Utah Valley. .40 seconds left in the game. Florida trying to net another one. The foot never comes off the gas pedal for the Gators. Now, searching inside. Florida picks the ball back up after it dropped on the ground. Pass inside, spin move. Saved by Peyton Kimball of Utah Valley. Here goes the Wolverines trying to just find one more goal if they can in the short amount of time they have left in the game. Inbounds play for the Gators. And that will do it. Florida picks up the first win of the Cactus Classic here in Tempe, Arizona. So traveling all the way across the country. It was all worth it after the first game so far. Florida picking up the 11-4 win over Utah Valley. Both teams will play tomorrow, and we will see you then. All further games will be broadcasted on South Mountain Sports. But for now, we'll sign off. Briefly, my name is Harrison Fuller, and before I go, I'd like to thank all the viewers wherever you're watching, whether that is Florida, Utah, or if you're right here in Arizona with us, or if you're in Cutchogue, New York. We thank you for tuning in. Also like to thank Anna Nicholls, my camera person, and Chris Ross for giving me this opportunity.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to South Mountain Sports and tonight's lacrosse game, our final game of the evening, featuring the Michigan State Spartans and the Texas A&M Aggies. We're here on what for us in Arizona is a freezing cold night, and I was laughing with both coaches, and the coach from Michigan State said this is absolutely perfect lacrosse weather. Talking with a few of the fans, they all said, wait a minute, we all heard it was 90 degrees down here, which last week it was. So as we get ready for the start of the game. One of the things Texas A&M said at the beginning of the game was they worked diligently on winning the draws, and they did win the first draw of the match. As they go into the exposition. Working it around the perimeter. One of the differences between the club lacrosse teams and the NCAA lacrosse rules is there is no shot clock, so they can maneuver the ball as much as they're looking for. And a foul has been called. That will result in a shot directly from the 8-meter line. It looks like it's number 14, Callie Barnett. Correction, it was number 24, Olivia Zander, taking the shot, saved by the Michigan State goalie. Ball is retrieved by Texas A&M. They work around the perimeter, get it in front, take a shot, and a goal is scored. Got wide open right there in front, and Texas A&M takes a 1-0 lead. It appears the goal was scored by number 14, Callie Barnett. Coming up from the midfield to take that shot again. The middle wide open for her. She had a direct shot on goal. Nothing the goalie could do about that one. As we get ready for the second draw. Again, Texas A&M said one of the things that they've been working on diligently since their last game was to improve on their draws. Let's see how well they do that. And we had a cross-check foul. Michigan State ball. Taking down what would be the east end of the field. Right now the wind is blowing across the field, so really no advantage that way for either team. And it would appear as though we had a foul called against Texas A&M, so it looks like you'll have a free shot coming for Michigan State. It looks like it'll be number 2, Amanda Grenader. Referee stops play and maneuvers all the players around the circle. There has been a change this year in the circle. There's not 5 spots anymore to be able to take these shots from. It's only 2. The shot goes high and wide. Michigan State still retains possession. One of the keys, definitely, that Michigan State talked about is teamwork, because they want to be able to get all their players involved. As they run their weave out front, trying to be able to do that, but lose it in front. once again, it looks like a foul was called against Texas A&M. So it appears number 26, Alexis Kardasz, doesn't take a shot. They pull it back out. And no, that was number 20, Gabrielle Beals. Shot is taken and score by number 2, Amanda Gnetter, tying the game at 1. There's many events happening this weekend here at Arizona State, and many teams are playing. In addition to the Michigan State-Texas A&M game is Oregon State, UC Santa Barbara, the Utah Valley University, Arizona State, Florida, and many other schools, Grand Canyon, are all playing here at ASU this weekend. In addition to all the lacrosse matches is the Sun Devil Classic softball games, as well as the Sun Devil baseball, and the basketball teams are also playing at home this weekend. So a lot of stuff going on here in Tempe, Arizona. Texas A&M does win the draw again. You notice the difference right away as Texas A&M is working the ball around their perimeter, where Michigan State was doing much more of a give and go and tossing the ball back and forth. Texas A&M now takes it in the X position. Takes a shot, saved by the Michigan State goalie, and a whistle on the play. Looks as though we're going to have an 8-meter shot. No, excuse me, a 12-meter shot for Texas A&M. Shot is taken and saved by the Michigan State goalie. That's number 11, Dominique Pouncey. Michigan State trying to be able to come out quickly on the fast break. And we have our first yellow card of the game. I'm sorry, I can't see the player being sent off, but a player is being sent off for Texas A&M. And it looks like that'll be for a 2-minute releasable penalty. Number 2, Amanda Gnetter takes another shot. And that goes wide, picked up behind the goal by Michigan State, but Texas A&M is awarded the ball. One of the things that definitely happens in club lacrosse is when they're a player down with no shot clock, a lot of teams will simply just stall the ball. We'll see if Texas A&M plays that or if they're going to aggressively go for the goal. And that seems like what they're about to do. As number 24 takes it right down the middle, Olivia Zander, and she picked up a foul. Foul on Michigan State. So at the ball at 12-meter line and working it around again is Texas A&M. One of the things you may notice if you're used to watching female lacrosse in high school is in high school there's an awful lot of one-on-one plays. Here in the college game, that just does not fly, as the defenses are just too good for one individual player to be able to try to take over a game. You need to really be able to work the ball around. A lot of give and goes, quick passes. And ball control is the key. Again, being a player down, Texas A&M is now working the ball around the perimeter, but they're still getting it in front, taking a shot, and a foul has been called in front of the net. It looks like we'll have a free shot available to number 14, Callie Barnett. And she just pulls it back out. Ooh. And a shot was taken across the top of the head. Olivia Zander was taken by Lily Adolph. Adloff. Starting a little early. Michigan State defense has packed it in. And a shot taken and score has been made. That score was by number 52. And Porapat. The midfielder getting her first goal of the game, and Texas A&M takes a 2-1 lead. Unfortunately, fans, the scoreboard is on the other side of the field, and there isn't a game clock, so I'm not able to tell you how long you have remaining in the first quarter. I can tell you, however, the score is 2-1. The Texas A&M Aggies. Ball's been picked up by number 2, Amanda Grenader for Michigan State, who's taking the ball down the left side on the east side of the field, puts it right in front. Nice pass. And a shot and goal by number 14, Lily Adloff. Ties the game at 1. Correction, ties the game at 2. Michigan State goes down 1, and within just a few moments is able to tie the game up at 2. The Michigan State coach at the beginning of the game simply just said, we want to be able to play better in all aspects of the game and just be able to continue to improve. Asking about any specific player, the statement was fantastic. As he just said, we need all players to be able to step up and always keep playing better. Sounds like coaches that I've known throughout my history. So Michigan State does win the draw. Again, that was something Texas A&M did want to be able to work on. So far, they've held their own. The draws have been pretty even. Nice save there by the Texas A&M goalie. The ball is taken away by Michigan State right in front of the net. And a shot taken and another save by Texas A&M. And now a fast break is trying to happen. They've lost the ball on the side. Oh, and a forecheck was done by Michigan State. Foul was called, Texas A&M ball. And a yellow card has been forgiven. Card given to Michigan State. Foul occurs by Michigan State, beat Texas A&M ball. Number 13, Camarino Saucedo with the ball. Taking it towards the net, but taken away by Michigan State. Ooh, and take a shot from behind. On Michigan State's number 46, Vivian Reinick. Oh, an errant pass by Michigan State forces a turnover. Texas A&M ball. They didn't give her enough room to be able to get the ball onto the field. So there's a restart. Griffin Young taking it down the side. Back to Camarino Salcedo. Back out front to number 24, Olivia Zender. She's working in front of the goal as best she can. Too many players there to take it away, but a foul has been called. And it looks like we'll have another free shot for number 24. Olivia Zander takes the shot and makes it. Giving Texas A&M a 3-2 lead. For those of you watching across the country, it's roughly about 7:30 here in Tempe, Arizona. Really not a cloud in the sky. And for Arizonans, that does mean that it gets cold because there is such a thing as the cool midnight desert air. So when the sun goes down, it does get cool around here. I know a lot of people there in the Midwest are probably laughing at that statement as we speak. But to us in Arizona, it is cool. Of course, we do have freeze warnings whenever it might get below 32 degrees. So it's all a matter of perspectives. Texas A&M does win the draw. Continues to work the ball around the perimeter again. Bring the ball in the X position. Seems to be a mainstay of their offense to be able to take the ball from behind the net, quickly move it back out, and then maneuver in front of the goal. Looks like a potential turnover, but no, Texas A&M is able to pick it up and stave off that turnover as they bring it back. And there's been pushing from behind by number 2, Amanda Grenader. Not a foul, simply just, oh, she is being sent off for a yellow card. That'll mean a 2-minute releasable penalty for Texas A&M. That's 2 yellow cards issued against Michigan State already in the first quarter. Triple team effort happening on number 4, Sarah Poppy. Still has it in front. It looks like a foul has been called, having too many people into the goal area. So it's a penalty shot for Texas A&M, who pulls it back out. Number for Sarah Poppy, obviously showing off her skills as she's getting double and triple teamed sometimes and is still able to continue the ball and draws a foul. Comes in. Her stick was hit, caused a weak shot, and an easy save for the Michigan State goaltender. Michigan State now with the turnover. Trying to get it quickly up the field. No fast break opportunities available here. And yet another turnover. It seems so far in this first quarter, Texas A&M has a rather significant advantage in ball control time. As Michigan State's second goal was scored very quickly. But the ball has been down here on the west end of the field for the majority of the first quarter. And speaking of the first quarter, even though a shot was taken right as the buzzer went off, the first quarter is over with the score, Texas A&M 3, Michigan State 2. We'd like to thank you for listening to South Mountain Sports. We are a nonprofit organization providing you with club lacrosse action. We specialize in providing games involving Arizona State University, the University of Arizona, and Grand Canyon University, as well as all tournaments like this that are happening in the Valley. We are proud to be able to do so and would appreciate any efforts that you would be able to give to be able to help support our efforts, again, here at South Mountain Sports. We'll take a quick break and be back with you in a moment at the start of the second quarter.
He finally got it.
This is why I say Vince Gill here earned his money.
He actually interviewed him.
Stories that top 50%. Chris and I, we were always engaged with him. And we're back. Getting into the second quarter. And we're back. Getting into the second quarter. Again, with the score. Texas A&M 3. Michigan State
technical difficulties there, but they've been taken care of. I had a a lot of noise in my headset, but Texas A&M goalie made a wonderful save. They work on a breakout, and the referee is stopping play, bringing it back. Texas A&M still quickly looking to be able to bring it up the field, see if they can get an advantage. As they are working from west to east. They bring the ball right in front, and a really nice save there by the Michigan State goalie, number 11, Dominique Pouncey. Nice play by Texas A&M to be able to knock it off and gain possession of the ball. Again, the ball's being brought down right down the middle of the field, trying to be controlled by number 52, Ian Propet. But turnover by Michigan State. Running up the field is number 22, Jennifer McCuthie. Takes a shot, goes way over the top. It looks like it'll be Texas A&M ball. In all likelihood, the ball just started to slide out just before the shot because it went about 20 feet high. I know that was not her intent. But trust me, anybody that's tried lacrosse understands how difficult trying to be able to get that quick shot off can be. Fans, if you're not aware, this is one of 3 games that's been happening all day here on the lacrosse fields here at Arizona State University. And we're on the far north field. There'll be another full slate of games tomorrow as Michigan State looks like they have the opportunity taking the ball off of a foul, and it looks like it's number 2 once again, Amanda Grenader, taking a shot, but saved by number 31, Lily McLaughlin. No, correction. Number 33, Amaria Smith. Michigan State has done a much better job, though, here in the second quarter, maintaining possession of the ball. And as soon as I say that, they turn it over. Well, that's something that happens pretty much every time in every sport. It's the ultimate address announcer jinx. As once again, number 24, Olivia Zander, spinning in front. Giving it up, and once again, they take it back into the X position. Errant pass, once again, picked up by the woman out in front, Olivia Zander. Tries to be able to get a pass in the front of the goal, but it's taken away by number 8, Abby Losi. Ooh, my. Cross-check has been called. And a green card has been issued. Those of you who don't know, green cards are still relatively new to the club lacrosse world, and it is to be able to eliminate dangerous plays in the middle of the field. They don't keep track of how many green cards you can get. However, It is a releasable penalty and does provide an advantage for Texas A&M. Talking to parents and representatives from both teams as they were real happy to be here and love the opportunity to get their season started. Here playing some other very strong lacrosse teams as the ball goes right in front, and a score by Texas A&M. Nice pass to a cutter coming right in front of the net. Trying to be able to see who that is. And it looks like it's number 12, Griffin Young, with the goal for Texas A&M. So that gives the Aggies a 4-2 lead. In another classic matchup between the SEC and the Big Ten. As we get ready for the draw, referee sees something he doesn't like. Restarts the players. Up in the air, and once again taken by Texas A&M, but it appears to be, and yes, a quick turnover to Michigan State, picked up by number 21, Cassidy Yoder. Michigan State once again trying to quickly get the ball in front of the net, but makes a turnover. So now Texas A&M tries to be able to bring it quickly up the side of the field. Oh, and as a reminder, folks, teams are back at full strength, as the goal did bring the person back from the green card. As Texas A&M works the ball in front of the goal, taken by the goaltender. Once again, nice play by Dominique Palsy. Folks, we hope you do appreciate South Mountain Sports bringing you all of today's events, as we have covered 3 games, each on 3 different fields. So that's 9 games total that we've covered today, and there will be just as many again tomorrow. As another turnover there by Michigan State. Ooh, nice play by a Michigan State defender, number 12, knocking it down in the middle of the field. That was Taylor Young, causing the turnover and getting the ball for the Spartans. But then the Spartans turn it right back over to the Aggies. Spartans are playing tough defense now in the middle of the field, not even letting the Aggies get down towards the net. Now the Aggies set up their offense. They They go back once again, looking for the players in the X position. And look for the player that's cutting in front of the net. Oh, they bring it out from the X position. Number 5 takes a shot. That was Faith Jorgensen. She missed. Michigan State picks up the ball. Ooh, tricky pass attempt, and number 6, Abigail Soriano, who wasn't able to control it, and a turnover, but redirected. And the Spartans now have it back. The Spartan ball out of bounds. In front, they give it back to Ava Perone. Now it's in the X position for Griffin Young. No, correction. Taylor Young. Working in front, takes a shot. And a nice save by the goalie. The first shot was by Eva Perone. Couldn't tell you where the second shot was from, but a nice save by the goalie from Texas A&M. Ball is right in front and knocked away. Oh, and a long pass, trying to be able to start the fast break. And it winds up still being, no, it's still loose. Been a question of who's winning those 50-50 balls, and I can almost guarantee whoever wins the 50-50 matchup is going to win the match, because historically those two things go hand in hand. Right now it seems like both teams are doing a pretty good job at handling the 50-50 balls. I couldn't tell you if there was a significant advantage for one team over another. I can say, though, the score is Texas A&M 4, Michigan State 2, with roughly about half of the second period gone by. Michigan State, though, has done a much, much better job controlling the ball here in the second quarter. Ooh, and there was a push from behind. Ball provided to Michigan State. They work the ball out towards the front. Having a lot of cutters going towards the goal, but there's a lot of people in the way. So number 20, Gabrielle Beals, trying to be able to take it in front. And they draw a foul, so it looks like Gabrielle is going to have the opportunity to get a free shot on goal here. Comes in, takes a shot, saved by the Texas A&M goalie. Now the ball's down the east side of the field. Once again, worked back behind the goal, now to the side. Ooh, missed the pass, was able to pick it back up. They had been working the ball primarily to number 24, Olivia Zander, who bleeds off the field at this time. So you're seeing a little bit more up-front action. A lot of movement around the goal, trying to be able to get loose for some of the players. Ball's right in front, a nice save by the Michigan State goalie. Again, that was number 11, Dominique Pouncey, making the save. Ooh, turnover by Michigan State. Fast break by Texas A&M coming down. Nice recovery by Michigan State to be able to back them back out. And a shot taken, and that marks the end of the second quarter. So at the end of the first half, the score is Texas A&M 4, Michigan State 2. Once again, thank you for listening and watching South Mountain Sports. We'll be back again shortly for the start of the second half.
I was like, huh? What? I can understand that. I'm working on it, We need everybody to come together for body heat, because, trying to be able to convince people of that, probably not good. So what is it you're looking to be able to measure in and do? Done your That's okay.
It's pretty warm. It wasn't crazy. Saturday was Saturday.
In other words, you don't want to be me being the center of attention.
Yeah. I hope you'll be center of attention.
I can understand that.
There's just no goal.
Believe it or not, the only two sports where I actually comment are here in basketball. Most of the other stuff that I do, it's all public addressing. So I'm the guy in the stadium. So, And now, coming to the field, your Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah. The other horse are inside.
My second career after I retired. My wife was looking at me today saying, okay, your weekend schedule says you're doing this and this and this. So you're retired? It's a fancy way of saying that's an outsourcing call centers, network support centers, and so forth. So I realized trying to help people where they didn't want to do a specific parts of their business. Most of the time, of course, they didn't want to give it themselves. So then when they try to give it to us, it's restricted issues. How would you like us to handle
Yeah. So you said you travels today?
I have been to all 50 states, 8 of the 10 Canadian provinces, and I stopped counting my passport when we were 5 countries.
That's crazy.
A lot of my students will say, hey, you've been to less than such and less than such, and most of the time my answer is yes. And they go, great, what'd you think? And I go, the airport was like this, the hotel was like that, and the office was like, I couldn't tell you a damn thing about your town.
Yeah.
Like, the food was bad or good. I can tell you that too.
Yeah, that's what's important.
Chris and I have now been in trouble.
They're pretty good.
5 years. We teach this class and social motivation. Yes. So, one of the things I often tell students is if you see what year
I'm freshman.
even as a freshman, make sure you start
Yeah.
because people think they're going to find a job based on your GPA and applying for a job and getting accepted. Nope, doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
100%, especially in the field you're going into. So who do you know?
Yeah.
And do they know an opening and do they know you and say, oh, okay, I like this person. Yeah, why don't you give them a try? There's a story I tell students all the time. I had a student who came and says, I posted a thing to LinkedIn. I want to know what you think. She says, I like to jobs. I'm getting it in here. She was asking me.
Oh, yeah, no.
Said, you are not doing enough. I am sending out 50 resumes a day. I have been doing this for 3 months, and I've got 8 interviews. So you need to do one. Okay. She goes, is that a good thing? I said, what your person has done is if you do the math, they've sent out 3,500 resumes to get 8 responses. So she beats her head up against the wall every single day until it bleeds. And then she's telling you that's not enough. You need to take a hammer and start whacking yourself over the head to give yourself a concussion. What a colossal waste of time. Versus getting to know folks. And people say, how am I supposed to get to know folks?
Yeah.
They go to all kinds of things. They go to trade shows. I just heard that two people would say, so you get on with something like that. You say, yeah, I see that you're talking about this and such. Could you send me a copy of the presentation that you did? And I did some presentation. Nobody. And what you do is you don't just start when you get this job. Because that's asking, get the job and asking someone to do it. And so you don't say, hi, I'm Chris, would you like to go on? And by the way, I'd love to get married. I want 3 kids and I want to live on the No, you don't do that. You're going to get the mortgage on the first day. Okay? So you create some things about yourself, the things that you find interesting, and post it to your LinkedIn profile, and then create your personal web page. So you can do it any way you want. Ready? And what does that do? It gets people like you to know you. And so it's launching is I see people online. So I'm just 10,000 seniors haven't done this. Okay? So you got 3 years to get it done. You get a head start. That's how people get jobs when they graduate. And not the seniors now. Oh, crap, I haven't done squat for 3.5 years. Now I got to go. That's well, I can put it in work. Oh my gosh, I don't know anybody.
Thank you, yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, definitely. One of my classes, we've made websites and
LinkedIn is a great tool, but if you can do a personal website as well, you post something on LinkedIn and then hook it to your personal
Yeah, that's
website
what they say.
because that way you can show it. Because people in your field, you want to say you're creative, right?
Yeah.
What better way to have a personal website? Duh. But it's like doing sit-ups or working out or something like that. It's not the only way to do it. But if you say 5'3", that's a pretty damn good start.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not hard. If it was, I would say, if it was a rocket science, my old man who was a rocket scientist, I'm much more proud of me.
Texas A&M. Camarena Salceda has it on the near side of the field, working towards the middle of the net. The ball was loose and picked up by the Michigan State goalie. Now let's see if Michigan State can start the fast break. We know that's one of the things they like to do. They have made a few turnovers tonight, though, in trying to be able to get out quickly. They did lose it once again, but this time the ball was picked up on the side by number 5, Avery Gilbert. You no doubt can hear some of the fans in the background. There's a number of people here from both schools, representing both schools very well. Is Michigan State now doing more than just moving the perimeter? They've got a lot of player movement. Number 22 has it in front, takes a shot, and scores. That was number 22, Jennifer McWethy, with the goal, her first of the game. Making the score 7-2. Correction, 7-4, Texas A&M. Again, we have a high-scoring third quarter here. The overall score is Texas A&M 7, Michigan State 4. Here in the third quarter. As the Spartan fans start picking up their cheer, doing what they can to help their team. And it works as Michigan State does win the draw. As number 20, Gabrielle Beals has it. Down the far side. And a foul has been called. And it looks like number 22, Jennifer McWelty, will have it again in front. Looking to be able to cut further in the Texas A&M lead. Takes a shot. Oh, a nice save by the A&M goalie. Once again, Michigan State picks up the loose ball, but an errant pass. Looks like it is going to be picked up, though, by Michigan State. The ball was picked up by number 5, Avery Gilbert, on the far side of the field. Now coming back by Tinny Collins. In front now by Gabrielle Beals. Over to Tinny Collins. Once again, there is no shot clock here, so you can be able to continue to work and get the shot you're looking for, which is really important here for Michigan State as they look to be able to get back in the game. The shot is taken and scored by number 2, Amanda Granader. Her second goal of the game, cutting further in the lead, making the score Texas A&M 7, Michigan State 5. And it looks like a timeout has been called on the field. It's a timeout here in the third quarter with the score, Texas A&M 7, Michigan State 5. Texas A&M had opened up a substantial 7-3 lead. Michigan State has made a quick run with 2 quick goals. Each team now has 3 goals in the second half, so it's definitely changed from the defensive battle we had in the first half to a much more of an offensive battle here in the second. Again, we do hope you enjoy this telecast from South Mountain Sports. We are a nonprofit organization bringing you these tournament games as well as games from the club teams from Arizona State University, Grand Canyon University, and the University of Arizona. So obviously, tournaments like this here at the Lacrosse grounds on the campus of Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona. On for what us is a cool February evening. As my camera person just smiles when I say that. It's interesting as they have my Spartan fans to my left and my Aggie fans to the right. You know, have a battle of the chants between the fans. A&M does win the draw. Taking a fast break themselves, but the ball got popped up and loose. Picked up by Michigan State. That was picked up by number 6, Abigail Soriano. Now with it, Amanda Grenader. Amanda's got 2 goals already this evening. Amanda still has the ball here on the near side of the field. Now in the exposition, tries to be able to bring it out front. Ball is loose in front of the goal, picked up by the A&M goalie. Ball was knocked away, and it turns into a turnover. Michigan State's ball. Ball's on the far side of the field. Again, Amanda Grenader controls it. Couldn't tell you if that was a shot or a pass, but it's still going to be Michigan State ball. Michigan State has definitely gained momentum and taken control with the last 2 goals and their possession. Because unlike the start of the quarter where the possession was all Texas A&M, it has all been Michigan State here in the later part of the 3rd quarter.
Let's go defense! Let's go defense! Take the ball, take the ball, take the ball!
Amanda Grenader tried to be able to cut through, and a foul has been called, and a yellow card has been issued. Looks like the yellow card has been issued to number 14, Kaylee Barnett. So she'll be sent off for 2 minutes. So it'll be really important to be able to see if Michigan State can be able to get the goal here Shot is taken, but prior to the shot, whistle had blown. And it looks like number 99, Ava Perone's going to take a shot from right in the front of the goal. There's a shot and a goal. Once again, number 99, Ava Perone, makes it 7-6, closing the gap to 1 for Michigan State. Texas A&M still up by 1, but Michigan State has now scored 3 goals in a row, and it's definitely taken momentum in the game. We're running into a couple technical issues. We'll be right back with you in a moment, fans. We're not sure. And goal by Michigan State, tying the game at 7. And I believe that took place right at the end of the third quarter of play. So at the end of the third quarter, it'll be Michigan State 7, Texas A&M 7. We'll be back with you in a moment here on South Mountain Sports. as the Spartans are coming back on the field, followed by the Texas A&M Aggies. We really appreciate the effort these ladies have given us tonight. They've given us a real exciting game with some incredible ebbs and flows going both ways. And once again, with most likely a little less than 2 minutes left to go in the game, we are tied at 8. And it will be Michigan State's ball in the Texas A&M Aggie end. Michigan State is wasting just a bit of time out front. We'll see how much time they do want to be able to take off the clock. This is a good move, is making sure that if they score, it doesn't leave much time left. If they don't score, it still also doesn't leave much time left for Texas A&M to be able to do much with it. And Texas A&M is just packing it in. If they want to be able to throw it around out front, they're obviously content to let them do that. All right, now Michigan State looks like they are getting into their offense. They definitely have some players you need to be able to watch out for, as there's a lot more player movement. As they're not just looking for individual play, they are sending cutters in front of the net constantly, and their passing has gotten substantially better here in the second half as they've come back from 3 goals down. Ball's now on the far side, bringing it towards the net, shot and score! Michigan State, with the score, takes a 9-8 lead. That goal was made, once again a hat trick now, by number 2, Amanda Gernader, with her 3rd of the game. Once again, giving Michigan State a 9-8 lead with very little time left in the game. Obviously an incredibly important face-off here. Correction. It's my hockey being associated there. It's a very important draw here with very little time left to go in the game. The Aggies consider this incredibly important, and boy, it sure is important now, as it goes straight up into the air, and it is controlled by the Aggies, but knocked away by Michigan State, and now controlled by Michigan State. We'll see Texas A&M trying to double team, triple team the ball, see how they can be able to get away. But Amanda Gernader just taking the ball around the back of the net and working on the far side of the field, waiting for a double team to come, and then giving it up to an open player. Michigan State once again works it around their perimeter. Texas A&M cannot allow them to do that. Again, with no shot clock, they could just run out the ball game. So Texas A&M has to pressure to be able to get a steal at this point. As Michigan State continues to be able to keep it out front, they're doing a wonderful job keeping the ball. They wait for a double. Oh, there's a shot taken to the head. And penalty was not given, but it is Michigan State's ball. As they're on the far side of the field, continuing double team, trying to be able to come. in the X position. They're on the far side of the field. Texas A&M looking for a double team anytime they can. Michigan State just working it around their perimeter in the far end, taking it close to the goal, then pulling it back out, actually working now towards the goal, and a risky pass. But Michigan State still retains possession. And a timeout has been taken by Michigan State. Coach maybe wanted to talk about that one shot that was taken where it did cause a lot of commotion in front of the net. It was a possible score, but it does seem as though the time is a much bigger element than trying to be able to get a score at this point in the game. We envision there is only a few seconds remaining in the game, but I'm sure the coach does want to be able to say ball control is really important. You don't need to take the shots. You don't need to be able to cut in front of the net where there's a lot of people with the opportunity to be able to lose the ball, and it was very close that they did. So probably just giving some reminders to their players. From the Texas A&M side, it's you need to do whatever you can to be able to get on the ball, double team it if you have to, try to be able to cut off any passes if possible. If you give up a goal, it kind of doesn't matter at this point. You need to be able to get the steal and get it down to the far end of the field as quickly as possible to be able to get a shot. The referee's blowing his whistle to have both teams come back out on the field. We hope you've enjoyed this exciting game where, once again, Michigan State is ahead 9-8. Texas A&M had taken 8-7 lead after having a 7-3 lead. So Michigan State has scored 6 of the last 7 goals. With no clock, everyone here on the far side, people are trying to be able to find out how much time is actually left in the game. And it's obvious as Texas A&M has put everybody on one side of the field to try to be able to cut off all passing lanes. They tried double teaming. Oh my goodness. Number 2, Amanda Grenadier took a shot to the nose. She's bringing it back in. And pulling it back out. As 2 Texas A&M players, now 4 Texas A&M players are converging on a single player. Michigan State trying to be able to go to open areas of the field. Texas A&M doing everything they can to be able to chase them. Right now, it is that ultimate game of keep away. And so far, Michigan State's doing a wonderful job at it. Texas A&M trying to be able to get it, but that's the ball game. Final score, Michigan State 9, Texas A&M 8. Michigan State wins. Fans, we hope you enjoyed tonight's telecast here on South Mountain Sports of the game between Michigan State and Texas A&M. Fantastic game. If you would, please consider giving to South Mountain Sports, as we are a non-profit organization providing ladies clubs lacrosse for those all across the country for this event, and sponsoring Arizona State University, Grand Canyon University, and the University of Arizona club lacrosse teams. I'm Craig Stevens. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you come back with us tomorrow to enjoy more exciting lacrosse.